What's going on, Dolphins? It is your boy Dillon, and I'm making a video today. This is not going to be my post-game analysis video. That will be tomorrow. I still need to go through and do my in-depth analysis and stuff. Yeah, so I'm not even going to bother saying anything about that. Just make sure you check out that video. I really want to make this video because of an article that I read that I think is really important. I'm not even going to give any of my personal commentary because you guys already know what that is. I'm just going to read through the article. But before I get to that, I also want to mention that I think I may have found a way to watch the games again, even without Sunday tickets. So I am tentatively going to plan for a live stream for the next game against the Bengals. So we'll see how that goes, and if that does turn to be, my source does turn to be a consistent source for being able to watch the game, then I will continue to do that. All right, so let's go ahead and just get straight into this because, you know, it's the stuff that I've been talking about for quite some time. It's stuff that I have been talking about for quite some time, and it's really, you know, it's in light of this week's, you know, clown show with the NFL and the fact that the Denver Broncos played a game with like a backup third string running back or whatever it was, like a backup player as quarterback, and they didn't have a single completion in the first half of the game. Like, it's just a joke. All right, so let's get into the NFL, or into the article. Like I said, I'm not going to give really any of my commentary because you already know what it is. So this article is from, and part of the reason why I want to read it too is because this is the like only person that I have seen, and I've seen this person give a couple takes. I've seen a few of their articles, at least some of the headlines, really, you know, bringing it hard to the NFL for their piss poor decisions and really calling them out for their lack of care or concern for anybody except for themselves and their money. So this is from the like one person from mainstream media, if I wasn't clear, if I didn't say that. NFL hits new heights of embarrassment as COVID-19 ravages Ravens and Steelers and Broncos quarterback situation. Are you happy, NFL? Are you getting what you want? We know the answer to this, of course. The NFL, which for our purposes means the billionaire team owners and their bank accounts, also the NFL as a multinational corporation, right? Because the NFL itself as that corporation is also raking in all kinds of money. But yes, the billionaires are obviously a primary focus of this. Let's see, is still being paid by the league's broadcast partners. It doesn't matter how many people, players, coaches, staff, and their family and community members are being needlessly put at risk. As long as the club owners are getting their money, they're getting what they want. League-friendly media members are touting that the NFL has gotten to week 12 without canceling a game. They revel in the novelty that a practice squad receiver will be the Denver Broncos starting quarterback because the team's top three quarterbacks were too negligent to wear a piece of cloth over their face while in meetings with a fourth who had tested positive for COVID-19. Real quick, so there is one point to that I want to make. So she I believe this author is a she. They, let me just be a little bit more gender neutral here. They note that, you know, these quarterbacks were negligent in their responsibilities. And while that may be true, these players and these coaches and so on and so forth shouldn't be even in the position to begin with. And this person does get to, you know, that really, and just saying that ultimately it's the fault of, you know, the owners and the NFL for even pushing the matter to begin with. Anyway, the rational among us are just gobsmacked by the complete disregard for doing the right thing and setting the right example. Across the United States, COVID is raging. It hasn't just gone away as we were insincerely told it would. It has gotten worse. There are about 90,000 people currently hospitalized, and that number grows daily, straining medical systems that in some places were already inadequate. In some places, needed surgeries are being canceled as nurses and doctors are pleading with us to do the right thing, and their calls are being ignored. But we have NFL games, so it's all good. It is not. The primetime Thanksgiving game between the Baltimore Ravens and Pittsburgh Steelers, which was supposed to be a must-see game of division rivals, now keeps getting incrementally pushed back like a parent-teacher conference impacted by rush hour traffic. And if it is played on Tuesday night, the Ravens are unlikely to have 53 players in uniform. As of Sunday, they'll have 22 on the COVID reserve list and 10 more on regular injured reserve. And at the moment, they don't even have 5 healthy offensive linemen. That's really a must-see game, eh? Nothing says huge matchup like one team left barren by a virus spreading through its facility. The Broncos, meanwhile, were so desperate that they reportedly asked the league if they could sign one of their quality control coaches to play quarterback after their usual quarterbacks were deemed ineligible. I didn't even know that. I didn't even know that they put in a request to have a quality control coach. Look, I mean, the dude might have been a player before, and that's all well and good. So, you know, if he's in physical shape and he's got the ability, that's not what this is about. Maybe the dude does. I'm not trying to disrespect the coach. But how absurd is that? Like, are you kidding? Anyway, you get it. You know what my thought. But I didn't. So I'm only commenting just because I didn't even really know about that. I didn't know that they wanted to get one of their coaches to play the game. I mean, Jesus Christ. The reigning MVP is on the COVID-19 reserve list. A cancer survivor playing for a life-altering second contract is on the COVID-19 reserve list. At least one assistant coach and one player we know of have endured more than one hospitalization because of COVID. Multiple teams have been fined hundreds of thousands of dollars for repeatedly breaking safety rules, which obviously are not doing anything. So their proposed ideas for how to fix this are clearly not working. But it's not because they intend for them to work. No, the only reason why they're doing it is so that they can put on the face that they're doing something, and so that way they can also recoup some of their losses by taking away the fucking money from players and coaches and stuff like that. Anyway, dozens of players and staff have now tested positive. Some teams have seemingly ignored league rules behind best practices and are now experiencing outbreaks. I mean, and again, they couldn't control this from the beginning. It was never a good idea to do it from the start, but here we are. Lest we forget, the NBA shut down in mid-March after one player tested positive and months later finished the season in the safety of a bubble. Now that is much more difficult to do with the NFL, but yes, that is true. It was not an ideal situation for many players and coaches, as it was sometimes isolating, but once they gathered in Orlando, not a single person tested positive for COVID. At the time, there was belief that the NFL was at an advantage because it was early in its off-season and had months to plan. In a perfect world, COVID would have been controlled in this country by the usual start of the regular season, as it has been in other nations around the globe. But a federal administration that has abandoned its people and done nothing to mitigate spread, let alone effectively end it, meant the NFL should have been prepared. Real quick, also, let's note though, while it is absolutely true that Donald Trump and this current administration has literally handled this thing as bad as they possibly could, Joe Biden's not going to be any better. He's going to luck out in that, vaccines are going to come out in his fucking presidency, right? Which are still, as far as I'm concerned, not going to be, proven to be as effective as people hope, in large part because so many people are not going to take it, the anti-vaxxers, and for me personally and a lot of other people, we're going to want to verify, that these things are safe, not just take the word of these major corporations. And then even when that, people like me do say, okay, I'm ready to take this one because I feel this one's safe, they're going to be stupid expensive, they're not going to have enough, etc., etc. But besides that, one of the most fundamental things you do is shut down. You tell people to stay the fuck home, and then you pay them to do so. Joe Biden is not going to do any of that. He has said it. He said he's not going to have a national shutdown. So it's not going to get any better even with Joe Biden in office. Anyway, get creative. Let's see, get creative with scheduling. Lengthen the regular season to allow for more bye weeks. Create multiple bubbles to mitigate the risk to players, staff, and community. And yet here we are. And the NFL's posture is to stick its head in the sand and pretend the tornado swirling around it isn't actually there. Shutting down all facilities for 2 days, as the league has mandated for Monday and Tuesday, is nothing but more performative foolishness. It won't do anything meaningful. It's pretty much how the league has approached this entire situation. All performance, nothing meaningful. As long as those broadcasts fast checks keep rolling in the team owners' coffers. And that's what it's all about. That's what it comes down to at the end of the day. All right, that's where I'm going to wrap this. Like I said, tomorrow I am going to give you my deep dive into this game with the Jets. There's definitely a lot to say about it. And I'm just going to save it all for that. I'm not even going to bother carrying on. I'm just going to save it for that. So check that out. Also, like I said, I am going to tentatively plan for doing a live stream this upcoming week for the Bengals game. So look out for that. I will update you. Well, I mean, I'm not really going to know if it's going to be a permanent solution until I've done it once or twice and see if it actually will be reliable. But so just check out for that. It is tentatively set, and I will be doing a live stream for this next game. Yeah, so that's all I got. I'm going to get out of here. I hope you guys appreciate my perspective. If you do, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you hit the bell if you want to get the alerts. Share my channel and videos, with your friends and family. Leave your questions, comments, and concerns down in the comment section. And, of course, as always, follow me on Twitter at Dillon Tartaro. And with that, I am out. I'll see y'all soon. Fins up.